Hello, 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 and welcome back to another progress update. But this time in my normal skin. You might be wondering why, and we'll get to that. But first, look at that. We've started to convert some of the assets in each of the players' lobby rooms. We have Scar with his full deck converted, as well as a couple of artifacts up on the walls. We're not fully done with this process, but I'm getting to it, starting to get there. But what I really want to show today is not actually a decked out progress video, as you may be able to tell from the title. It's something a little different. Let's head on up to the queue. This is all exactly as expected, except for a brand new gateway into the world download area, featuring TCG arenas and a new Great Hall. That's right. If we head on up the stairs, we enter into the big room. This is the innards of Decked Out 2 of Deep Frost Citadel. If we head up these stairs all the way, then we'll end up at the new Great Hall. This is about half of the size of the original one, with a bunch of unclaimed areas, each of which has their own starting deck and starting supplies. It's very reminiscent of the original one, with a little bit of different stuff. You can see some spoilers poking through up there. And then, in addition to the new Great Hall, which will be available for all players in the world download once it's provided, we have the TCG Arena and TCG Shop. So, this has been a long process and it's really hard to convert. The only way to get map art to convert like this is by using chunker.app, which is the official or semi-official Mojang converter between Java and Bedrock, but that has a world size limit of 1 gigabyte. So we had to get the trim download, and then someone on Java, that being Shadowed from Tracked Out, provided every single TCG card for our usage, and they've all been converted over, and they've all been sorted up. These have been sorted basically in accordance with the Hermitcraft wiki for the TCG page as of today, so you'll get to see them all in their order. For example, B-Dubs, both in his normal and his extra rare form, his rare form having all the full lore and descriptions in there. Or even if we head on over to this side, we get the Alter Evil packs like Evil Jevin. Not only that, but we get a whole bunch of unreleased cards that weren't ever played or we never even saw the light of day on the Hermitcraft server, and all these have been converted too. Like, for example, well, all the error types, we saw all those, but there's also things like Princess Gem, or Worm Man, or Iskall Man, or a lava bucket with contrasted textures that are a little bit too high for the actual card. Not only that, but we get a ton of old TCG cards, which either have old style descriptions or map corruption. Like in this one, this is not the actual current impact of the golden apple, or in this case where we have an old Wells, which is the old type that does 50 HP damage when the user's HP is in red, rather than the actual 40 damage that is currently in play. We also have all of the health cards converted, as well as the TCG logo and the strength chart. These cards are all here for anybody who's playing and exploring this world in the world download to make their own decks, and then they can bring those decks over to any one of the TCG arenas from the Hermitcraft server. In that case, they're going to put their deck into the white shulker, just like on Hermitcraft, then they're going to press the cherry button to shuffle a deck, and then the black button to fetch the cards from the shuffled area. In this case, we have a chiseled quartz block. Press it again, we get a note block. As you can see, it's all shuffling. Now, I unfortunately don't know the intricacies of TCG well enough to convert all of the redstone, so every single arena just has this basic shuffler. So to get all of your cards out, you're going to have to press the button until it fully empties. I've also made sure that the entire burn and poison system uses blocks rather than player heads, because that doesn't convert as well. You can see over here we have the Great Hall TCG Shop and the TCG Double Original Arenas, but we also have, heading up the stairs through this long pathway, we have the Goat Arena, where I kept all the redstone in here, but I did not convert any of it over. So none of this is functional, but hey, it looks real pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, made out of diamond blocks, just as the original one, but we do have the same deck shuffler in this case, where we get a new item each time deck is shuffled. Everything's converted over. I added some levers to the lamps because, again, we don't have that fully automated system. And I removed all the buttons from each of the entry rooms so that we don't have to worry about those. As ever, cherry button shuffles the deck, the black button fetches the card, and the acacia button will select a firework from the randomizer. Woo, got a green. In addition to Doc's beautiful arena with all the redstone. If we head on down to the lobby, as you can see, we have a little bit chopped off version of Cub's TCG Pyramid. This does not have the trading arena in the back, just because we're fitting this, again, inside of Tango's original whole Deep Frost Citadel. But this does have the full-size arena, again, without the redstone. All the buttons have been removed, except for the ones that shuffle your deck, play the fireworks, and bring a card out. We have levers on the sides, again, to select how many victories you've got. We have the full Champions Clubs, just like in the World download, and we have a seating arena with the working Bubble Vader, fully accessible, just like in the original World download, with secrets included and everything, exactly as you would expect. We also, of course, have the original TCG arena that was with redstone by Exuma. We ripped out all that redstone because, again, I don't know well enough to convert it, but we do have the firework launcher, the shuffler, and the deck item puller. Just get an extra item out each time you push the button. Everything is exactly as you expect it to. This time we have a little bit of a sunrise, fake sunrise, mirroring the cube room. We have the TCG signs. We have the fully accessible stands up above. And we even have a maintenance room that falls off into the inner workings of Decked Out 2. Now, how do we actually get here? You saw that we came in originally from the queue room through this little gate. As you know, if you head down past this arrow, you'll actually end up in Decked Out right in front of the door. But you can also get to this arena by heading into the Great Hall, where you'll find an area that is an expressway. This expressway will take you right down to right next to the entrance to the queue and right next to the crown shop, or it'll take you right back up into the Great Hall for ease of access of each of your individual cubbies while you're playing in the World download. I personally think that this is a great general addition to the area. It fills up the space of Deep Frost Citadel. We have all the cards available, so people who just want to play TCG will be able to. People who just want to play Decked Out 2 will be able to. One known issue is that when you're playing Decked Out 2, the sounds of Decked Out 2 will come up even into this TCG arena, so I do apologize for any sound interference that might occur there. It's just a lot easier to control it that way because of just how big the dungeon is. But overall, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that I get a chance to learn TCG a little bit over time, but for the most part, this is just a thing that I'll leave untouched. I'll leave mostly vanilla, just making sure that all the systems are working, the shufflers are working, all that is fine. And I hope that anybody who's playing around here enjoys. Oh, and one more thing before we go. If you press the shuffle deck button to effectively start the game, you will hear
TCG. Easy as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. TCG, baby, you and me.
That's right, we got the TCG song converted over just like all the Decked Out 2 songs, so that when you start your TCG game, you'll be able to hear the beautiful voice of CupFan135. And with that, that's about it. I hope you enjoy TCG in this world once it comes out. This will be coming out hopefully in a couple of weeks. I just want to make sure that Decked Out 2 is fully ready to go and fully polished and everything's ready to play there. But for the most part, this is just going to be a lot of fun to hang out with. So I hope you enjoy, and see you in the next progress update, which will again be Decked Out 2. Bye-bye!